Alrighty, what's going on everyone? Just doing a video on a heap of different kinds of deadlifts. I see Michael over here just did a bit of a standard conventional deadlift. So a conventional deadlift is the kind of deadlift that you're used to seeing in the gym and is done like so. A deadlift is called a deadlift because the weight starts dead, which means it has no gravitational potential energy. If I was to do an exercise where the weight starts in the air, such as bench press or squats, where the weight is supported by the person who's doing the exercise, the weight's not considered to be dead because it has gravitational potential energy. Okay, so that's why it's called a deadlift. You start with no momentum and the weight starts off of the floor. Any exercise where you're picking something off the floor is a kind of deadlift. Alright, deadlift type number 2, sumo deadlift. This deadlift is used in powerlifting and it's used because of its advantage. It decreases the range of motion. And that's the advantage of a sumo deadlift. The lifter just doesn't have to lift the weight as far, and you can also get a lot more legs into the movement. The sumo deadlift can be done at different stance widths. It's basically done like that. A really wide sumo deadlift would look like this. A really narrow one. So you can see in a sumo deadlift you can push your knees out and get the groin muscles into the lift as well as more of your leg muscles in general. Alright, deadlift type number 3. This is a deadlift that you won't see much in the gym, but it is a massively beneficial exercise for the quadriceps, and it works the lower lat in a way that you won't find with any other exercise. As you can see in a hack deadlift, the weight starts behind the body and the bar is behind the body at all times. The hack deadlift is named after George Hackenschmidt, who invented it. Sometimes called a hack squat, but I guarantee you it's not a squat, it's a deadlift. It's a great movement for working that lower lat. I recommend doing the hack deadlift if you want to try working your lower latissimus dorsi in a different way and to try and hit it from a different angle. And it's good to work the back from all different angles: vertical pulling, horizontal pulling, and everything in between. Alright, next kind of deadlift is called a Jefferson Deadlift. This deadlift is a little bit complicated. I wouldn't recommend it for beginners, but it is great for the core, for the abdomen, for the obliques, for the hips, and for the lats as well. And again, working everything in a very irregular way. Jefferson deadlifts are not something I've done a lot of. As you could see, I grabbed the bar the wrong way to start off with. Basically, you want to you want to stand in between the bar with one leg over the bar and one leg behind the bar, and your hands need to be in a grip that supports this kind of deadlift. You can see more detailed videos on this on YouTube. It's important to do it on both sides, so you work both sides of your body evenly. That's the Jefferson Deadlift. Another kind of deadlift that you'll see far more commonly is a Romanian deadlift. A Romanian deadlift can be done from a rack, starting at the top position and lowering down, or it can start on the floor, as I'm going to show you in this video. The difference between a conventional or standard deadlift and a Romanian is basically that a Romanian deadlift is done with very stiff legs. You don't bend your legs as much as a conventional deadlift, and for that reason you recruit much more hamstring in the movement. Alrighty. Another kind of deadlift, yet again, is a Bavarian deadlift. This is not one that I've used a lot in training before, but it has been in strongman competitions in the past. Bavarian deadlift originates from Bavaria, which is a part of Germany. For a Bavarian deadlift, you need two platforms like that, and the athlete stands with one foot on either platform before lifting the weight which is in between them. Alrighty, so there's a heap of different kind of deadlifts. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. Another way of deadlifting is to do a deficit deadlift, which is where you pick the deadlift up from below the level of your feet. For example, you could stand on some platforms like these, or you could arrange your deadlift in another way that would raise your feet above the level of the deadlift. So there's a heap of different kinds of deadlifts. Try some of them out in your gym. They're all great for your spine and all work your muscles in different ways. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe.